Here we are in the back of the church, and I've asked Megan to step back in because I thought, well, heck, maybe all these repeat of the pews could also be a nice compositional element. And maybe we can have the line of the center aisle leading up to her. We have the repeat of all the pews behind her and so forth. So let's see what we get. I've changed lenses again, and because I want to do what? I want to expand the size of the background. I'm going to use a longer focal length lens, probably 105 millimeters here, somewhere in that range. And remember, too, when I'm calling out these focal lengths, that I'm working this against my 1.6 magnification factor of my Canon 40D right here. So you can do the math on 1.6 times 105. It's going to be about 170 millimeters when we get thinking about it. So my pose right here, if we look at Megan, I've got that right shoulder pushing forward. Let's bring it back just a little bit more, Megan. A little bit more. Yep, there you go. Good. Turn your head even more. Chin down a little bit more. And that's looking pretty good. I like the body to come one way and then the head go the other way. We have Erin over here bringing the light in. And Erin, since I have her solo, I'm going to let you lower that light like another foot. I like to keep the light just about, maybe 10 inches above her eyes. So you can even bring that light down quite a bit more. Okay, and just be sure that you've got the sighting and everything. Yep, good. Okay, and just taking a quick shot right here. Let's see what we got light-wise. What we've got is pretty lighting on her, but because I'm working in the darker part of the church right now, I've got some pretty big shadows happening. I'm going to turn on my on-camera flash, and I'm going to bring that in at about -1 and a third stop. I'm going to test it again quick. Good, happy. And I think that filled the shadows beautifully. So let's go ahead and get a couple more here. And here we go. And again, what's going on? On-camera flash is coming in here at 1 and the third stop. You saw how contrasty we were in the other one. Look how nicely this fills. Good. And maybe even more just right to her face. Let the pews just kind of dance around her face right here. Happier again. Good. And I think we got some really pretty stuff going on here. I've asked Christian to come into the scene now, and we have a nice kind of a left-leaning tilt of Megan right here. I'm going to let Christian just kind of come in and do kind of a right-leaning tilt to kind of do a pyramid kind of a composition with the both of them. So Christian, shoulders towards me ever so slightly more. Let that hand drop down her arm, maybe down to her elbow instead. Perfect. Straighten up your head for me. Chin down a fraction. Turn your head slightly. Bring back in this way a little bit more. Okay, so right there, we got a nice pyramid kind of composition with the both of them. Megan, hold those flowers with your left hand fingers together a little bit more. Yep, and just gracefully hide the other hand just a bit with the flowers. Yep, okay, there you go. So we're good to go. And I'm going to go ahead, I've got my on-camera flash turned off here for this image. We got Erin coming in. She's got her positions now pretty good over there. Just taking a photograph. And it looks pretty good, actually. It looks pretty good, even though I don't have any fill happening here. But what I've got going on here is I've got my 20th of a second shutter speed, which is picking up the ambient light nicely. Let me go ahead and just for the fun of it, let's take it down to a 60th of a second. So what's going to happen is, Christian, let me straighten up your head again. No, your shoulders are fine, just the head. Get a little, yeah, there you go. Chin back down, turn your head slightly tilt now, right there. And what this is going to do for me is really increase contrast on the scene. If I'm going to do that, then I'm going to have to turn on my on-camera flash. Now here's the problem. Notice the camera is turned horizontally. And if I take the photograph at this point here with the camera horizontal, I could throw what I call some ugly shadows onto the background. I'm going to take the photograph right here. I'm going to check my viewfinder. I'm just going to look closely to see if I have any ugly shadows there. And I don't really see anything popping out at me here because turning the camera sideways, the shadows are going to be way down against the pews, and all the tonalities of the pews and the repeat of the pews is going to repeat or actually disguise the shadow right here. So this is a time when I would turn the camera sideways like this, on camera flash coming in from the side with the possibility of creating those shadows that I don't want to see. So anyway, one more time here, positioning everybody's heads and faces against the background. Shooting away right here, great. Again, I'm going to get the top part of the church in. I like to see the arches all the time. Happy you guys, great. And when we look at the image, I think it looks great, and I think the fill from our on-camera flash worked perfectly here too, and we avoided seeing the ugly shadows in the background. So again, a nice location to work in. So, and again, I don't want to bring the groom in each and every one of these or the bride in each and every one, but again, the thing being working through as many of these different locations as we can. So we could do a couple more things in the back, but let's start sorting or kind of moving through the church and see what other spots we can find.